Hello everybody and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. So we actually beat the main campaign of the game. However, I still got one more thing I need to show off, and that of course being the Nintendo Gallery. And by the way, make sure you come here before going into New Game Plus. I'm lucky I had a spare save. Because apparently you can't actually like leave the room. Well, after you defeat Puppet Ganon, you can't actually leave the room. So instead what you gotta do is you gotta save and then like reset the game and then come back. But yeah, there we go. Alright, that should have been the last picture if we head back out. Change the time of day. We're going to get some like new dialogue. Because Puppet Ganon was like the last one we needed. Let's head back down. Welcome, Plague. The figure request is ready. I know, blah, blah, blah. Say this, but this one is some of the best work I've done. Wow, go ahead to that door, check it out. I put it in the room across. Can't miss it. I thought he was supposed to leave. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, that should be all the bosses. Unless it's like the Wii U version. Maybe. Give me 1 sec. Oh, yep. So I just had to skip the day again, and he's gone. That manager guy is gone. You know, he left one last figure and took off somewhere. I have no idea where. Leave your figurines in the vast ocean room on the other side of the wall. I have made every last figurine this world could possibly desire from me. I have set out into the world in search of new inspiration to guide my hands. That's what was written here. So I guess that this means you're the new master of the Nintendo Gallery, aren't you? It looks like you'll be with us for a long, long time. Well, I'll be counting on you, buddy. I'll be here every day. Yeah, so the guy ends up leaving. And he left one last figurine, but I'm going to save that for last. Instead, we're just going to be viewing every single figurine. I'm going to be like reading what each one says. So let's get started.
Makar, birthplace, the Forest Haven, personality, frivolous.
Makar is in charge of the musical performance at the ceremony held each year by the Koroks in the Forest Haven. The instrument he uses appears to be a cello, but it is actually a violin. Yeah, make sure you take a picture of him. Well, you can actually go back in the Earth Temple to get a picture of him, but I just prefer to take a picture before I go into the Earth Temple. Beto, birthplace, Kokoro Forest. Personality, somewhat saucy. Somewhat saucy. Long ago, the Kokiri sage, Fado, offered up his prayers to the Wind Temple, so that the Master Sword would continue to house the power to repel evil. He is the only Kokiri in this game. Deku Tree, birthplace, the Forest Haven. The Deku Tree is both an earth spirit and a guardian of the forest. He has lived for many long years, so his wisdom is vast. However, since his roots run deep into the earth, he cannot move. As a result, he is often afflicted by parasitic enemies. The thing is with the Deku trees is, yeah, they live a long time, but they eventually do die, but a new Deku tree will always take their place. That's why in like every Zelda game, the Deku tree is different. Olivio, birthplace of Forest Haven, one of the Korok Forest spirits. After the annual ceremony in the Forest Haven, Olivio flies off to a distant part of the world to sow tree seeds and raise new patches of forest. He's responsible for the forest on an island 1 square west of 3 squares north of the Forest Haven. Okay, it's just going to give us like locations, so Hollow. Oh wait, this guy's different. Replace the Forest Haven, one of the Korok Forest spirits. Even after the Korok ceremony, Hollow remains at the Forest Haven researching potion making. He'll make a potion that replenishes both life energy and magic power for you if you bring him Bokobaba seeds. Angela Manjala Chuwe. Elma. Yeah, it's the same thing with him. Drona. Let's see. Roan. I like how each of them has like a different tree leaf for a face. Like that's definitely an oak. This, I don't know. Oh, I should have like paid attention to the names too. Birch. It's a birch. That's a nice little reference. Linder. Alright, you, Aldo. Haven, one of Korok, etc. Daniel, blah blah blah. Oaken. He's obviously an oak. That's kind of cool. Like they're actually named after like different trees, and I guess like the leaves on their face is supposed to signify which tree. Karlov, the sculptor, birthplace unknown, occupation is into gallery master, not anymore. With unmatched talent, he is the world's greatest sculptor. It's said the reason he won't let anyone watch him sculpt is because he does so in his underwear. Lately, his club has been losing membership because he hasn't done anything cool with it. But as long as Plague hangs around, everything will be alright. Yeah, I basically had him sculpt every effing thing in the game. Manny, birthplace, Windfall Island. Favorite thing? Figurines. He used to always sit at home and rarely go outside, but his passion for the Nintendo Gallery kept him moving, and he finally earned membership in it. Wait, who the heck is on the bag, though? What is that? You know what? I don't even know. That should do it for the Forest Haven. I think next up should be like Dragon Roost. Yeah. And I'll save the special figurine for last. Gogoli, birthplace, Dragon Roost Island. He always seemed to be worried about the state of the island, but no one has ever seen him working to improve it. And by the way, this guy is a pain in the ass, because the moment you like get to the quest line where you got to go to the Earth and Wind Temple, he will actually disappear. So make sure you get him before going to the temples. Pashli, birthplace, Dragon Roost Island, personality, gentle. For reasons unknown, Pashli is always busy. Wow. Not much about this guy, is there? Alright, what about you two? Skate and Akut. Birthplace, Dragon Roost Island. Your occupation, the Chieftain's Guards. Sket and Akut are said to be the numbered 1 and number 2 Ritos when it comes to talent and strength, which is why they are the Chieftain's Guards. The reason they get along so well is because they are childhood friends. Their style of speech can be considered somewhat antiquated. They look like twins, for fuck's sakes. Gaboli, birthplace, Windfall Island, occupation, mail sorter. Worst job in a 7 game. Gaboli is the 3rd generation in a family of postmen, but rumor has it that an ancestor of his is an age gone by was also a postman. Wow, a whole family of postmen. Okay. An entire gene lineage. Beto, birthplace unknown, personality earnest. Beto is a very earnest when it comes to mastering a job. He often misses his mother and gets homesick, which can be quite hard on him. He wants to be like Plague. I don't know why you would be. I'm basically a nobody. Hoskit's birthplace, Dragon Roost Island. His biggest worry is getting a present for his girlfriend. He looks quite easygoing, but he's always thinking of his girlfriend. He values his friends tremendously. Will the postman, birthplace, Dragon Roost Island, personality, doubtful, passionate. Will has courage, if nothing else. He is admired by his fellow Rito, and the chieftain places great trust in him. He's also, like, aside from, like, Medley, he's the, Rito who helped us out. Second most. Valu, birthplace, Dragon Roost Island, Sky Spirits. Valu has lived on Dragon Roost Island and protected the Rito since long, long ago. He has a habit of speaking only Hylian, which only his attendant Medley grasps. Oh, the frogs. Zephos and Cyclos, birthplace, Dragon Roost Island, sibling deities who control the wind. Zephos and Cyclos are 2 light-hearted deities who teach Plague the wind's requiem and the ballad gales. Are you kidding me? Cyclos was a dick. Zephos just like popped out, taught us the Well, he didn't really teach us it. We learned it from his tombstone. Cyclones actually taught us about it, Gales, the moment we whooped him. Alari, birthplace, Dragonroost Island, occupation Windfall Island, postman. Alari is quite kind as long as he's composed. But when things don't go well, he quickly grows impatient and can get rough with his speech. He apparently has a hard time remembering people's faces. Poor guy. Namali, birthplace Dragonroost Island, personality worrisome. Namali doesn't really have any distinct characteristics per se. Wow. It sounds like the other guy's brother. Bashed and Bishit. Bashed and Bisht? What? Replace Dragonroost Island, occupation Island Police. Being extremely honest and sincere Ritos, they were chosen to be the island's police force. When you talk to them, they speak frankly about events on the island. Just 2 police officers, I guess. Obli, birthplace, Windfall Island, hobby, dressing up. Obli has such an unhealthy obsession with the Ritos and he's begun dressing up as a Rito and running the famed Birdman contest. He's the older of the Laudable brothers who host the contest. That contest sucked. Woodley, birthplace, Windfall Island, hobby, dressing up. Woodley used to be a very average carpenter on Windfall. He so longed to soar the skies that he began dressing as a Rito. He's the younger of the laudable pair of siblings. Okay. Medley, birthplace, Dragonroost Island, personality, serious and sincere. Medley is Valu's attendant, and as such puts incredible effort into everything she does. Even so, there are times when she seems to be spinning her wheels. Her greatest treasure is the harp that she carries on her back. Kamali, birthplace, Dragonroost Island, personality, mama's boy. Kamali had very little confidence in himself and thus closed himself off from the world outside his tribe's air, whatever. With just a little help from Plague, though, he has regained his confidence and has at last begun to show signs of being a confident and mature Rito adult. Good for him. Loretto, birthplace, Zora's domain. Long, long ago, the Zora sage Loretto offered up her prayers in the Earth Temple so that the Master Sword would continue to house the power to repel evil. Yeah, now that I think about it, why the hell is it a Zoran at the Earth Temple? You would think it'd be like a Goro. Why is it the fish person at the... You know what? I ain't even going to question now. I just thought about that. Like, why? The Rito chieftain, birthplace, Dragonroost Island, head of the Rito tribe. The chieftain is a very gifted leader who is adored by his people. Due to his position, he must be strict with his relations. But as with any father, he worries about his son. Alright, that's everybody in Dragon Roost. Next up, enemies. Oh, this one's going to take a while. Okay. Floor Master, Habitat Forsaken Fortress. Personality, surprisingly lonely. Ha! These creatures use their long hands to grab their victims, which they then yank into another room. They occasionally grab nearby vases and throw them. Is that why they grab you? Because they're lonely? Magtail, habitat, Dragon Roost Cavern, weakness, water. These creatures are covered in a hard exoskeleton that not even the searing heat of lava can penetrate. Their eyes are their only weakness. Magtails can be picked up and carried around when they rolled into a defensive position. I actually like these enemies. They're actually really cool. Kisi and Fire Kisi. Habitat, Dragon Roost Cavern. Least favorite thing, projectiles. For obvious reasons. These bats fly around dark places and attack anything that moves. Great care should be taken around fire Kisis that appear during times of volcanic activity. So I'm guessing like a fire Kisi is like a bat that's touched fire and it evolved into a fire Kisi. Okay. Bokoblin, habitat, Forsaken Fortress. Spoils, joy pendants. These little imps wield sharp machetes and boko sticks when attacking. If they have no weapon, they'll attempt to fight hand to hand. Red bubble and blue. How the hell are those bubbles? Habitat, Tower of the Gods. Stronger form, blue bubble. The cursed blue flames of the blue bubble steal the power away from all of your attacks. Bubbles can easily be blown away by the Deku leaf. Oh god, the rats. Rat, habitat, Forsaken Fortress. Favorite food, all-purpose bait. These creatures attack spontaneously and attempt to steal rupees. The ones that carry bombs around are apparently known as bomb chews. Boko Baba, habitat, Forbidden Wood. Spoils Boko Baba seeds. These creatures that mimic Baba buds attempt to swallow anything that comes near. Defeat them by stunning them with a jump attack and then cutting their stems. Or just hit them with the boomerang and instantly kill them, or light them on fire. There's like a ton of other methods to deal with those guys. Mini Blinn, habitat, Forsaken Fortress. Talent, herd movements. These little beasts are quick and agile. They scurry along walls and gather in great numbers. You should deal with them individually so they don't surround you. I almost thought it was going to say these little bastards, because that's what these things are. Little bastards. Choo Choo, habitat, varied. Spoils, chew jelly. There are choo-choos of many different colors, all with their own distinct characteristics. In general, they are the most susceptible to projectile weapons. The blue one is the rarest. Peahat, habitat, Forbidden Woods. Talent, rotating. These strange creatures use their propeller-like wings to float in midair. They can be easily knocked out of the sky with either projectiles or the Deku leaf. Or the boomerang. Or an arrow. Well, I guess it did say projectile weapons, so... yeah. Gyorg. Freaking Gyorg. Habitat, the Great Sea. Weakness, projectiles. These so-called ocean-killing machines are plentiful in the Great Sea. You should attack them with arrows or bombs before they're able to knock you knock you into the sea. Or do what I do and use the boomerang. Freaking Gyorg. Octorok, habitat, the Forced Haven, Great Sea. Winner of the Perfect Attendance Award. When approached, these creatures tend to hide in the water. They can easily be defeated by reflecting the rocks they shoot with a sword or shield. Or they could just shoot them from a distance. Sea hats, habitat the Great Sea, weakness projectiles. These tremendous flying fish can be found only in the Great Sea. They tend to ram ships to knock their prey into the sea, so it is best to attack them from a distance. I don't know which one they developed first, the freaking sea hat or the pea hat. Because one's just like a redesign of the other. Gargarok. Habitat. Dragon Roost. Spoils. Golden Feathers. These fierce and dangerous opponents often carry bokoblins and moblins into battle. You can use your grappling hook to steal their golden feathers. You could use that on like basically any enemy to steal their items. Redead. Habitat Earth Temple. Least favorite thing, Mirror Shield. These undead creatures live only in the darkest depths of the earth. Their icy cold gazes paralyze their victims with fear, try to attack them from behind. It doesn't matter what Zelda game you play, Redeads will always be creepy. Oh, Habitat Earth Temple. Best attack, Possession. These ghostly creatures have no physical form, so physical attacks pass right through them. Shining light on them with the mirror shield makes them take form. Morph. Freaking Morph. Habitat Forbidden Woods. Least favorite thing, Deku leaves. These creatures attack in groups and cling to the body of their prey. A spine attack is the best way to shake them off, or spin attack is the best way to shake them off. They're light and vulnerable to Deku Leaf blasts. They're also the babies of those bug things, and they kind of look like sea urchins. Armos Knight, Habitat Tower of the Gods, Vulnerability Bombs. These auto-homing statues were created to deter intruders. To destroy them, you must toss bombs into their gaping mouths. That chin, though. That chin. Actually, it kind of looks like, Did they take Wario's face and just, like, made this thing out of it? Because that's what it looks like. It's got Wario's mustache. Armos, Habitat Tower of the Gods, Vulnerability Arrows. These small statues shift into autopilot and attack prey. Shoot them in the eyes with an arrow to silence them, then destroy them by hacking their crystal backs. I'm honestly surprised he sculpted the crystal in the back. Alright, next up, boss room. We got this and like 3 more rooms. Although the remaining rooms should have like small amount of statues. This one still got like a big chunk. Dark Knight, Habitat, Tower of the Gods, Spoils Night Crest. These mighty knights are protected by heavy-duty armor. Rather than attacking from the front, it might be best to slip around behind them and cut their armor off. I do like the Dark Nuts, though. I think the Dark Nuts are my favorite enemy in the game. Dark Knight, Habitat, Earth Temple, Spoil, Knight's Crest. These knights are well protected by their round bucklers and mighty armor. If you use a parry attack to jump up and knock off their helmets, it'll spell their doom. Although, I don't know why they have 3 of them. Mighty Dark Nuts. Habitat Hyrule Castle, Spoil, Knight's Crest. These are Dark Knight captains. Some wear capes that must be burned or cut off before their armor straps can be cut. Although this guy I understand. Because these guys are like mini bosses. I do like the helmets though. And the capes. Kind of cool looking. Stelphos, Habitat Earth Temple, weakness, its head. These skeleton warriors attack by violently swinging their gigantic maces around. Even if they're shattered into pieces, they'll reform unless their heads are destroyed. I really have no idea what the hell kind of species a Stelphos is. And Stelphos, they're like different in every game. Like this one has like the head of a horse. Puppet Ganon. Ugh. Puppet Ganon, Habitat Ganon's Castle. Effective weapon, light arrows. This is a gigantic marionette created by Ganon himself. It transforms into 3 different shapes, but all are vulnerable to rays of light. Rather than shooting randomly at it, try to deduce when it can be easily targeted, and then take advantage of your chance. Probably the most pain in the ass boss in this game. Mulgira, Protector of the Seal. Habitat Wind Temple, effective weapon, hookshot. This evil guardian burrows deep in the sand. Use the hookshot to draw out its tender tongue, then slash it with your blade. You also got its children below it too. He's a pretty chill boss, but definitely not my favorite. Kali Demos, Habitat Forbidden Woods. Favorite thing? Makar. This plant monster is a gigantic parasite that lives in the depths of the Forbidden Woods. Only by cutting loose all of its disgusting tentacles with the boomerang will its tender core be revealed. Oh, it actually has Makar on it. I have never noticed that. Actually kind of cool. Goma. Habitat Dragon Roost Island. Effective weapon, grappling hook. This gigantic shelled insect inhabits areas of lava and magma. The only way to penetrate its hard bio armor would be to drop an entire sheet of bedrock on it. I do like the design of Goma though. He looks pretty badass. Big Octo, Habitat Great Sea, effective weapon, projectiles. There are said to be 6 of these legendary giant squid in different reaches of the Great Sea. When ships pass by, they create tremendous currents to try to sink them. The only way to escape is to shoot all of their weak spots, their eyes, with projectiles before being sucked in. Of course, I think this is like, the 8-eye one. Let's see, 5 in the front, 5 in the back. Oh no, this is like the 12-eyed one. Mothula, Habitat Forbidden Woods. Effective weapon, Deku Leaf projectiles. This gigantic moth scatters its scales through the air, even using projectiles to clip its wings. While not ensure safety, it can still run around swiftly and release larvae. And we got this red Wizrobe. Wizrobe, Wind Temple, Habit Magic Summons. These high-level mages use the magic of summoning to aid them in battle. They are the only Wizrobes that can summon other Wizrobes, which makes them formidable. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's weird when it comes to this, because like, if he summons a Wizrobe, then that Wizrobe will summon more enemies. It's like weird when it comes to this boss. Wizrobe, Habitat Tower of the Gods, magic, fire, summons. These mighty mages are adept at wielding flame and summoning other creatures to their aid. The only way to defeat them is to try to predict their movements and attack them during the brief moment that they assume physical form. Now, Wizrobes aren't that bad in this game. I mean, yeah, they're annoying as shite, but they tend to be, like, very annoying in other games. Godon, the Great Arbiter. Habitat, Tower of the Gods, effective weapon, arrows. This monstrous machine was created by the gods as a trial for the great hero. You can drop it to the ground only by piercing its hands and face with arrows. Once it has fallen, you can defeat it by immediately tossing a bomb inside its oddly enough arrows occasionally drop from its nostrils. It is a pretty cool boss. Moblin, Habitat, Forsaken Fortress, Spoils, Skull Necklace. These mighty enemies swing their long spears with the greatest of ease. They've knocked Plague around with that attack countless times. Fuck you. Stupid game making a jab at me. Phantom Ganon, Habitat, Forsaken Fortress, effective weapons, light arrows, Master Sword. This is a phantom that Ganondorf created in his own likeness. Use your sword to knock back the balls of magic. Ugh. That he hurls and attack him when he is stunned. Actually, you can also use empty bottles to deflect his magic attacks. Really? I didn't know about that. Alright. Hello. Jalhala, Protector of the Seal. Habitat Earth Temple, Underlings Pose. This gigantic ghost rules over all pose. After reflecting light into it with the mirror shield, you can lift it and throw it around. And Ganondorf himself. Ganondorf, base of operations, Ganon's castle, effective weapons, light arrows, Master Sword. The possessor of the Triforce of Power, Ganondorf controls many fell beasts. It is useless for Plague to try to face him alone. He must look for an ally who can aid him in battle. That, of course, being Zelda. When she actually knows how to shoot that effing bow and arrow. The monstrous Helmarok King, Habitat Forsaken Fortress, Master Ganondorf. The Helmarok King is a monstrous bird that has been fitted with the mighty steel mask. Once the mask has been split with a hammer, its tender beak will be revealed. Helmarok King was actually a pretty good fight too. I think if I was to pick my favorite, it would probably be... honestly, the Hammerrock King or Goma. One of those two. I mean, Ganondorf had a pretty nice fight as well. Phantom Ganon is annoying. I hate Phantom Ganon. Alright, Outset Island. First up, the crab. Crab, birthplace, unknown, the ocean, obviously. Talent, crab walking. These creatures are crabs, plain and simple. Misa, birthplace, Outside Island, personality, slacker. Misa performs his chores at very much his own pace. His vegetable patch is always full of weeds and he spends most of the year trying to clear it out. He's surprisingly timid and often can't fall asleep at night. He's currently looking for a wife. I thought he had a wife. I thought like the one chick carrying the pot was his wife. Jaboon, birthplace, Greyfish Isle, water spirit. Jaboon can only speak Hylian, so hardly anyone understands a word he says. Why does Jaboon, I'm like, now that I look at it, he's got like the face like he wants to die. He's currently like internally screaming right now. Orca, birthplace, outside island, talent, swordplay. In his younger days, Orca had hoped to be a swordsman, but he suffered a serious injury that ended that dream. He soon returned to Outset and became a fisherman. On a ledge on one wall of his house is a memento from his days of training with a blade. Orca is a lifelong bachelor. Hitting him 500 times was also a pain in the ass. Sturgeon, birthplace, Outset Island, personality, extremely serious. Known as Outset's living encyclopedia, Sturgeon is quite wise, boasting an abnormally high IQ. I mean, obviously, judging by that head. He has extremely sensitive nerves, quite the opposite to his younger brother Orca, who lives downstairs. Surprisingly, Sturgeon was an accomplished swordsman in his youth. That's actually surprising. Yeah, this chick. Dubella. Place of birth, Windfall Island. Oh, she's from Windfall, actually. Personality serious. Dubella was born and raised on Windfall, but she became concerned for the health of her grandfather, Sturgeon. So she decided to move to live with him on Outside Island. Morning, noon, and night, she fills vases with water and carries them on her head from the well to their house. Strangely enough, she actually enjoys the task. Yeah, I thought she was like married to the other guy. Huh. Seagull, birthplace unknown, town, flying. Seagulls soar freely over the Great Sea. They love Hayu pears, above all other foods. And eating them simply steals their hearts. And their minds, because we take control of them. Errol, birthplace Outside Island, personality kind and true to her family. Plague's energetic younger sister is adored by all who meet her. Her current goal is to learn how to fetch water so she can help out her grandmother. That doesn't seem much of a goal, but okay. Her most treasured belonging is a telescope bearing a drawing of a seagull. Plague's grandma, birthplace Outside Island, personality worrywart. This kind old woman works hard to raise her 2 grandchildren. She is a very talented cook. Her special elixir soup is sure to raise anyone's spirit. She also can be somewhat mischievous and enjoys playing the occasional prank on Plague. Now my question is, what happened to Link's mom and dad? Wild pig, birthplace unknown, talent digging holes. Wild pigs are found primarily in the fields of Outside Island. They love all-purpose bait above all other foods, and when they eat it, they can't help but tear into the earth. I like how it's giving you hints on like how to get, because you needed that one pig on Outside Island to get the heart container. Rose, birthplace, Outside Island, favorite thing, animals. The mother of Joel and Zill. Rose is a woman of refreshingly simple taste, but she is a demanding mother. She has the bad habit of trying to laugh her way out of lies. Abe, birthplace outside Island. Greatest treasure is family. Abe is a family man who takes good care of his wife and 2 kids. In his younger days, his dashing good looks and baritone voice made him quite the ladies' man. Then one day he was instantly smitten by a woman named Rose. Even though he was consistently rebuffed, his persisted and finally convinced Rose to marry him. Oh yeah, I need to give him a quick look around. There we go. Joel, birthplace outside Island. Main interest, sticks. Joel's dream is to grow up as soon as he can so he can jump across boulders just like Plague. Both he and his younger brother Zill distinctly resemble their father. Zill, birthplace outside Island. Talon, sniffling. Zill is a hyper-inquisitive young boy who speaks his thoughts as soon as they come to mind. He can often strike a nerve without realizing it. He likes to imitate his older brother Joel, and strangely enough, it seems that he actually lets his nose run on purpose. That's actually kind of weird. How do you even do that? I mean, at least it clears the sinuses up, I guess. Alright, Windfall Island. Oh, this is going to have a bunch of them now. Yeah. God damn it. Minonoko, birthplace Windfall Island. Favorite thing? Pictographs. This former beauty became famous after being dubbed Miss Windfall Island about 40 years ago. There isn't a younger woman who could take that title away. Missy, birthplace Windfall Island. Her son, Dampa, the sailor. She's just an ordinary elderly woman. Wow, nothing much to say about her. She's actually just a reskin of her. They literally had the same face. The only thing that's different is like the nose. I think they changed the eyes. And of course the haircut, but yeah, the mouth's just basically the same. The head. And the body type. Garrickson, birthplace Windfall Island. Personality passionate. He is constantly thinking of someone on a faraway island. He's apparently a very passionate man, and he is a very has a very hip sense of fashion. Oh, he is the one sending the love letters. Let's get the ones off on the sides, and then we'll like do the middle thing. Anton, birthplace Windfall Island. Favorite activity? Kickboxing. The reason his second favorite hobby is taking walks is because he keeps his legs in shape. He's had his eye on a certain young lady lately. And his hairpiece is dumb. I don't know if that's a hairpiece or a hat. Cree, birthplace Windfall Island. Least favorite proverb. Only smoke and fools love high places. What? This young guy's trademark is his yellow hat. He seems to have an unusual interest in the town's Ferris wheel and lighthouse. Pompey and Vera. Birthplace Windfall Island. Hobby gossiping. Of course their names will be Pompey and Vera. Pompey and Vera are the town's most talkative pair of ladies. They are always spreading idle gossip. Lately, they've been obsessed with Linzo. The shop Guru Zanari. Birthplace, a cold island. Pet phrase, dear me. Even on the hottest day of summer, Nari can be found in his shop, wearing the beloved hood that his mother made for him. He keeps a great treasure in his safe there. On a side note, he turns 40 this year and is now recruiting for a wife. The pictograph Lenzo. Birthplace unknown. Personality hard to grasp. Lenzo is a famed pictographer. Known to all. His mysterious personality is quite popular with the ladies in town. He's also extremely bizarre and a creep. Oh, it's birthplace Windfall Island. Talent dancing. This young fellow dreams to become a professional dancer. He dances before a strange stone monument day and night. The smooth dancer may still be practicing, but he's also recruiting for a partner. Freaking Elvis knockoff. Windfall's gang of boys to killer bees. Birthplace Windfall Island. Main objective, raising trouble. This small gang of 4 calls itself the Killer Bees. Starting from the left, to the members are the leader, Ivan, a very talented and reliable leader. Leave all tree climbing to him. Jen the Fox, Ivan's quick-witted advisor. His wry insults can be hard to take. Jan the Blue Hair, uses innocent looks to avert trouble. He's the Killer Bees thug. The pig-nosed June Roberto secretly aims to be the next gang leader. He was raised in a Borges family and has developed into a troubled little tyrant. Or terrible little tyrant. When these 4 are together, they fear absolutely nothing. Okay then. The joyful teacher, Miss Maria. Birthplace Windfall Island. This year's lucky number 20. This year marks the 20th year this splendid individual has worked as Windfall school teacher. Her hobby is collecting joy pendants. Her goal in life is to raise unique and creative students. The most unique thing she's ever created is her own hairstyle. Definitely has a unique hairstyle, I'll give her that. Petova and Joanna. Birthplace Windfall Island, nicknamed the Little Tipsters. These 2 girls are talented at hitting on island rumors. Seemingly without any tips or advice from others, children can be really frightening sometimes. Yes, they can! In fact, I imagine they're the daughters of those 2 over there. That might be where they get it from. Although my question is, who are the dads? Milla's father. Birthplace Windfall Island. Favorite thing? Money. His hobby was once collecting expensive vases, but unfortunately they were the kind of vase he wants to break as soon as one catches sight of them. One wants to break as soon as they catch sight. Those who did and were forced to compensate him for his loss were said to regret it afterwards. Milla, Birthplace Windfall Island, personality harsh. This poor girl was filthy rich until she got rescued from her prison in the Forsaken Fortress. Now that her family has fallen on hard times, she works for the shop on Windfall Island to help ease their hardship. From riches to rags. And then we got from rags to riches over here. Maggie, Birthplace Windfall Island, favorite things, love and romance. Maggie was dirt poor before being kidnapped and held captive in Forsaken Fortress. She's quite popular with all boys, but she prefers wild boys over all others. Lately, she has taken to writing poems and will soon be publishing one entitled A Woman's Heart is Blue. And then there's her dad. Maggie's father, Birthplace Windfall Island, personality not particularly good. Surprisingly, Maggie's father is quite confident that he is the epitome of fashion. It would probably be more accurate to say that the clothes he wears are distinct. He seems to especially like vintage clothes and jewelry. He went from like worrying about his daughter to like a total asshole when he became rich. Like he's one of those rich guys who needs to like flaunt their wealth. Gummy the Sailor, birthplace Windfall Island, favorite spice pepper. No one knows where he gets his spending money from, but this nifty sailor spends night after night unwinding at the auction. Kane the Sailor, birthplace Windfall Island, favorite occupation, artist. Long ago, Kane longed to be an artist or a sculptor, but circumstances in his home life forced him to become a sailor. He's still critical of all artistic expression, though. I wonder if he'd be critical about this figure. Dampa the Sailor, birthplace Windfall Island, favorite animals, pigs. Dampa recently got some pet pigs, and now they're all he can think about. He really confirms the old adage about pets and their owners. I like how he has buck teeth. Like his teeth actually just... Is this like supposed to be racist? How did I look at it? Yeah, I don't even want to know. Candy the Sailor, birthplace Windfall Island, good at cooking grapes. How do you cook a grape? At first glance, Candy looks a little intimidating, but he's actually extremely kind and quite knowledgeable. He's always happy to share his knowledge too. He's energetic and sort of a scamp for a 17-year-old. He's 17? This brick shithouse of a man is 17? What? Linda, birthplace Windfall Island, best friend Sue Bella. Oh, she's the chick over in Outset Island. Lately, her childhood friend, the delicate Camo, has become smitten with her, but she's apparently completely oblivious to his feelings. Camo, birthplace Windfall Island, years with no girlfriend, 18. Aww. Ever the romantic, Camo loves to gaze at the night sky. He and his dear friend Linda were once classmates at Miss Marie's school. Poor guy. Don't worry, there's plenty of fish in the sea. The Potion Master, Doc Bandam. Birthplace Windfall Island, favorite food, chew jelly. Doc Bandam spends his days researching choo-choos in his potion shop. He visits Pawprint Island now and then to collect the chew jelly he uses to make his potions. He considers himself a potion artist, and like an artist, he's quite whimsical. Bomb Master Cannon. Bomb Master Cannon, okay. Birthplace Windfall Island, mood shifts violently. Cannon is the world's only maker of bombs. He considers himself a magician with gunpowder and other explosives. His hairstyle is as unique as his talent. I like how one's like the one that's tied up, one is like bigger than the other. But then like when he gets that like messed up personality, it looks like he like cut his hair and they're like two little balls. I don't know. Gosak, birthplace Windfall Island, personality not brave. There isn't much to say about Gosak. Other than he's a coward. Jillian. Birthplace, Windfall Island. Workplace, the cafe bar. Jelly manages the cafe in the place of her now ill father. It seems she once had a boyfriend, but that info is top secret. Sam, Birthplace, Windfall Island. Favorite spot, the sea view bench. He thinks that a little composure is of the utmost importance in life. Sam's a card-carrying member of the Joyous Volunteer Association. God, that should do it for Windfall. Holy shite. That is a lot of figures. Last one. And we're going to save the special one for last. Mako, personality at first glance, quiet. Least favorite thing, having his glasses touched by strangers. Mako is called the brains of the ship and the king of invention. He may look like a weakling, but his glasses give him keen eyesight and he's unstoppable when mad. Not many know this, but he keeps a knife hidden in the thick book of his. Smart. But then again, he is a pirate. Nico, personality, married. Least favorite thing, Gonzo's underwear. Nico is the bottom rung on the pirate ladder, so he's responsible for all the odd jobs on the ship. He's quite childish and rarely thinks of the consequences of his actions. Even so, he shows signs of having what it takes to move up the pirate ladder. Zuko, personality, taciturn, talent, spying. Zuko is in charge of keeping watch. His sharp eyes can read signs a mile off, but no one really understands what he says, so they rarely know what he sees. Does he speak like Boomhauer from King of the Hill? I'll tell you what, man, blah, blah, blah. Nudge, personality, who knows, talent, sewing. Nudge seems to understand Tetra best of all the pirates and often counsels her in her decision making. He's actually stronger than Gonzo. He is probably one of the derpiest looking characters in this game. Senza, personality, mild-mannered, talent, talking maybe. Senza is in charge of keeping the pirate ship in order. He's a mild-mannered speaker, but his persuasive skills are said to be unmatched. Gonzo, personality, short-tempered. Favorite thing, Miss Tetra. Yeah. Stranger danger. Leader of Tetra's family of pirates, Gonzo seems to be quite strong, but he cries at the drop of a hat. And we got Tetra herself. Tetra, personality, elusive. Tetra seems bossy and strong-willed, but she's actually quite kind. Orphaned at a young age, Tetra followed in her mother's footsteps, becoming a pirate and watching after her mother's gang of lovable swabbies. Tetra and her crew are in search of a legendary treasure hidden beneath the waves of the Great Sea. Also, her mother was a pirate? Fishman, birthplace, the Great Sea. Personality, honorable, dutiful, and surely. Apparently these well, honestly, they're greedy too, because all they want is having food. So actually greedy, not gluttonous. Gluttonous is what they are. Apparently these fish were aided long ago by the king of red lions, which is why they now willing to offer Plague valuable information. Unfortunately, much of their information is off the mark. For many long years, they have suffered from stiff necks, but none of them know how to cure it. You think about getting a neck brace? King of Hyrule. The King of Hyrule was unable to protect his kingdom from evil and left his fate up to the gods. The King of Red Lions is merely his disguise. His full name is one that is truly fit for royalty. Daphnis Nahunzis Hyrule. Skip that one. And let's look at this Zelda one. Princess Zelda. Princess Zelda is the legitimate heir to the Hyrulean royal family. She's actually the pirate Tetra. My question is, who's Zelda's mom now? This game leaves me with more questions than answers. Salvage Corp. Birthplace Angler Isles. Talon searching for sunken treasure. These young men found friendship through their common interest in searching for sunken treasure. Soon afterwards, they formed the Salvage Corp. With their first haul of treasure, all they could afford to buy was their diving suits. Now they dream of finding that one huge haul that makes them all rich. They are currently searching for the legendary treasure sunken beneath the sea. Unlucky for them, I already stole all the treasure. Salvatore, birthplace Windfall Island, Talon's Rolling Pictures. Long ago, Salvatore hoped to be a famous painter. That dream didn't last long. He eventually returned to his hometown and came up with his current business plan. It's been a huge success, allowing him to purchase his own island, where he has opened up a second store in what he hopes will become a huge chain. He's now busy trying to think up that one idea that will spark his next big endeavor. I mean, it's best to have a hobby, I guess. At least you're profiting off of it. Luke the Sailor, birthplace Windfall Island. His only fear, the merman. Luke spends his days working far from home at the boating course. He takes his earnings straight to the cafe bar on Windfall to enjoy a relaxing beverage. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, you actually do see him in Windfall Bar. Usually at night. Beetle, birthplace unknown. Favorite thing? Bugs, especially beetles. Also, that's why they call him Beetle. A businessman by nature, Beetle sales pitch is unmatched. He hopes to open a chain of trading posts where people can buy, sell, and trade anything. And of course, you got the gold helmet behind him. Tingle, birthplace unknown. Favorite thing? Fairies, deciphering maps. It's been several years since Tingle first became enchanted with deciphering maps in the hopes it would help him find fairies. And he lost many things during that time. He's raised funds to begin his search for fairies, hoping to embark sometimes in his 30s. While the lust of life is still upon him, at the age of 35, the pressure's on. He definitely looks 35. Ankle, birthplace unknown. Favorite proverb. One may as well hang for a stolen sheep as for a stolen lamb. Since being taught how to decipher maps by his older brother Tingle, Ankle has been supporting his good-for-nothing twin brother Knuckle. The only time he feels he can truly be himself is when he's tending to the Tingle Island flower garden. David Jr. Ha! Replaced Windfall Island. Occupation treasure hunter. 17-year-old David he's 17 too. Set out to sea with dreams of finding the treasure of the ghost ship that his now deceased father once saw. He gets seasick quite easily and was in just such a state when he awoke in a daze on Tingle Island. Ankle told him that self comes before wealth, and he's been working in the tower ever since. He really hates the uniform. I'd hate it too, honestly. The fact that he's 17 and he looks like Tingle. Tough times are ahead for you, my friend. Knuckle, birthplace unknown, occupation carver. Knuckle is another of Tingle's younger brothers. He happens to be Ankle's twin. He finished carving Tingle Tower when he was 10 years old. Wow. Child prodigy. The head is his studio. Supposedly, he felt unsatisfied completing his collection without this figure. He loves his special vertically aligned Tingle tuner. Fairy, birthplace unknown. First impression, good. Fairies are the most reliable of creatures. When their master's life energy has been depleted, they immediately come to his or her aid. They can be carried in bottles. So tiny. Great Fairy, birthplace Angular Islands. Talents powering up. The 7 Great Fairies are destined to aid the great hero by increasing his powers, are hiding in seven different reaches of the Great Sea. They're all like different colors. I'm surprised the green one ain't there. You're missing the green one. You got like yellow, red, blue, purple, but not green. Queen of Fairies, birthplace Fairy Island. Talents, empowering bow arrows with fire and ice. She appears to be but a child, but she is much greater and more powerful than the Great Fairies. She will grant Plague the power to add fire and ice to his arrows. I like how her like color is constantly changing too. Very interesting. Traveling merchants, birthplace unknown. Favorite food, rocks. These businessmen are traveling the world in search of curious and oddities, each with the hope of someday opening his own shop. Nobody knows where these wandering merchants have come from or where they're headed. Well, they are Gorons. Old Man Ho-Ho, birthplace unknown, favorite thing, telescopes. Old Man Ho-Ho found his first telescope after retiring from his job and has been traveling in search of new sights ever since. A new discovery always awaits at the far end of his telescope. And of course, for completing Nintendo Gallery, you get this special statue right here. Plague and the King of Red Lions. Birthplace Outside Island. Favorite hand, left. Hero of Wind. No, my favorite hand is right. Hero of Wind. Plague uses the Wind Waker to control the wind and sail the seas in his mysterious boat, which is actually the King of Hyrule. Surprisingly, he seems to have an unnatural interest in figurines and has at last completed his collection. He is now the master of the Nintendo Gallery. Yep, for completing the Nintendo Gallery, you unlock this statue or figure right here. In my humble opinion, honestly not worth it. I mean, like, in New Game Plus, at least you get a new outfit. Although, like, the outfit you get is, like, the outfit Link starts out in the game. But, yep. That should do for Nintendo Gallery. In my humble opinion, if you want to get the Nintendo Gallery, go ahead. For me, it's like not really worth it because you don't really get anything out of it unless you're going for the 100% completion of Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Like going for the heart containers, yeah, I would recommend going for those because that gives you more life. Going for, like, of course, the bomb upgrades, the arrow upgrades, so on and so on. Yeah, but in my humble opinion, getting all the pictos and all that stuff, it's really not worth. Especially since, like, the pictograph itself is black and white. You had to go all the way here to the Forest Haven just to get that stupid firefly in order to upgrade it so it could take color. It's just so dumb. I mean, it's fun to do, I'll give it that, but again, it's not really worth it. But I just wanted to show that off, because I spent a lot of time doing this. But if you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe as always. Until next time, have a good day.